second. Number 10. At second base, Gabe Howell.
And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 2024 Pioneer League Championship Series from beautiful Kalispell, Montana. It is the visiting Yolo High Wheelers and the hometown Glacier Range Riders. Doug Greenwald with you here on YouTube Live, and, well, who would have thought that these two teams would be the ones meeting for the Pioneer League Championship? I don't mean not so much once we got to the four-team postseason where Yolo beat Oakland in 3 games, and Glacier beat Missoula in 2 games. And I'm just saying at the beginning of the year, I mean, Yolo in its first season of existence, and then you have the Glacier Range Riders, year number 3 of existence. And the two teams end up meeting here on this beautiful night for baseball. Overcast night. We could see some rain, but for the most part, a comfortable night weather-wise for baseball here in the Flathead Valley. My first trip ever to this part of Montana, and it is as advertised. Not only have I heard amazing things about this beautiful ballpark, but also about this area, and we'll talk more about that, whether it be tonight or possibly tomorrow. So, game 1 of this best-of-5 series. Again, the first-round winners, Yolo and Glacier, getting together here tonight from Kalispell, Montana. Two teams being introduced along their respective lines. Yolo over on the first base side. Glacier, well, you can probably figure out, over on the third base side. We're going to send it down to the field now for tonight's playing of the national anthems and the presentation of the colors. Again, the colors making their way. Presentation of the colors right now, right around home plate. Again, both teams lining up, so a little early sending it down to the field for that. But anyway, before further ado, would like to say hello to my sister Kelly. She is listening tonight in Marin County. All right, hello Kelly. Hello all of you. And now the national anthem. All right, nicely performed national anthem here this evening. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups. Game 1 of the Pioneer League Championship Series. First 4 are the Yolo High Wheelers, who defeated Oakland 2-1 in the first round. And Yolo, obviously, before we go further, games 1 and 2 will be here, and then Yolo will host Game 3, and then if necessary, Games 4 So a look at the starting lineups. First for the visiting Yolo High Wheelers and manager Billy Horton. Yolo, by the way, in the regular season, 53 and 41. Leading off, playing center field, is Brayland Skinner. Batting second, and at shortstop, Braylon Marine. The third place hitter is the second baseman, Bobby Leday. Jose Gonzalez, he bats cleanup, and he's at first base. Braden Blackford, the designated hitter, bats fifth. Hitting sixth and in left field, David Glancy. Tanner Smith is the right fielder, and he hits seventh. Batting eighth and at third base, Kirkland Banks. And in the ninth spot, doing the catching, Angel Mendoza. On the mound tonight for the Yellow High Wheelers is the right-hander in Cameron Rapetti. Again for Yolo and manager Billy Horton. It's Skinner, Marine, and Leday, Gonzalez, Blackford, and Glancy, Smith, Banks, Mendoza, and the righty Rapetti on the mound. For the Glacier Range Riders and manager Paul Fletcher, Glacier's regular season was 48 and 48, but they came in second in the first half, so they had a playoff spot locked up all of the second half regardless. So again, overall record for Glacier was at 48 and 48. And again, these two teams don't really know a whole lot about one another. They did not play one another in the regular season. Leading off for Glacier and playing right field, Ryan McCarthy. Batting second and playing second, Gabe Howell. The left fielder is Chad Castillo, and he bats third. Batting cleanup and at third base, Christian Kirtley. Kingston Liniak is in center field, and he bats fifth. Hitting sixth and at first base, Ben Fitzgerald. The shortstop is Andy Atwood, and he bats seventh. Ty Pinner is the designated hitter, batting eighth, and hitting ninth, and doing the catching is Freddie Guglielmo. On the mound tonight for the Glacier Range Riders is the right-hander in Caleb Sophie. So again, for the Glacier Range Riders and manager Paul Fletcher. By the way, Sophie's a left-hander. I apologize for that. Left-hander in Caleb Sophie. Again, for the Glacier Range Riders and the manager Paul Fletcher, it's McCarthy, Howell, and Castillo, Kirtley, Liniak, and Fitzgerald, Atwood, Pinner, Guillermo, and the lefty Sophie on the mound. The starting lineups here tonight. The umpires for tonight's game, four-man umpiring crew. Now, these umpires will only work tonight and tomorrow in this series, and then there'll be a different set of umpires for Game 3 in Davis, and if necessary, of course, 4 and 5. Calling balls and strikes is the crew chief, Tony Prater. Rob Minter is the umpire at first base. The umpire at second base is Travis Schatzman. And the umpire around at third is Cody Kernut. They are tonight's and tomorrow night's Pioneer League Championship Series Game 1 and 2 umpires here in Kalispell. On the mound tonight for the Glacier Range Riders is the left-hander in Caleb Sophie, 5-6 in the regular season with an ERA of 5.68. The rest of the rotations, or the rest of the probables for this series, at least for the first three games. Tomorrow night for Yellow, left-hander Brandon Mitchell against Glacier lefty Patrick Wicklander. And then Game 3 in Davis, it'll be for Glacier left-hander Cooper Benson, and for Yolo, right-hander Ben Ferrer. The rotation, as I said, for the first three games, Games 4 and 5, who knows? That we are not sure yet. Either side will be TBA for that. So, as I said, we will sort things out if they get that far. So it's, again, a best-of-5 series coming in to tonight's and to the championship series. But again, a beautiful night for baseball here in Kalispell, Montana. Never know in Montana once you get into September what can happen, but gorgeous night here. Certainly I say gorgeous. I mentioned this earlier. Overcast, but in terms of the temperature, very pleasant. And we'll give you the first pitch temperature, obviously, once that is delivered. So we are set to go here this evening from Glacier Bank Park. And it'll be Braylon Skinner to lead it off, facing Caleb Sophie, who is out of the windup. And the first pitch of the championship series is hit right back to the mound, snagged by Sophie. He'll run the ball almost all the way himself to first, but he'll flip the ball eventually to the first baseman, Fitzgerald. And Braylon Skinner is out at 7:10 Mountain Time to get things going on a very pleasant 65 degrees from the Flathead Valley. So one down, Skinner is retired, and just like that, again, one man is out. Skinner, by the way, was 5 for 12 in the series against Oakland with an RBI and 2 runs scored. Now Braylon Marine bats, and he takes a strike on the inside corner. No balls and a strike to Marine. Braylon had a good series against the Ballers, and that best of 3 as he swings on a tapper foul to the backstop. And the count is a no balls and 2 strikes. Braylon Marine in the series against the Ballers was 6 for 14 with 3 doubles. Full windup by Sophie on the pitch. Curve, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Marine is quickly the second out. That's the first strikeout for Sophie tonight. So very quickly, 2 away. And now Bobby Leday will come to the plate to face Sophie, who is out of Shippensburg University, Division II school in Pennsylvania, capital S-O-P-H-Y. As Leday swings here and flies this one toward deep center. Leniak is back, and he'll be there just to the right of the batter's eye to make the catch. And that concludes matters here in a very quick top half of the first inning. Leday, not the greatest of series against Oakland, was 1 for 11 with an RBI. 1-2-3 goes Yolo in the first, half an inning in the books from Kalispell, Montana. Game 1 of the 2024 Pioneer League Championship Series. Yolo nothing, Glacier coming up on YouTube Live. After half an inning tonight, Yolo nothing, and Glacier coming up to face the right-hander Cameron Rapetti. And I was talking to the Glacier broadcaster, Scott Gladstone, before the game. First time Scott and I had ever met. And told me something about Rapetti that none of us knew. Or not Scott, but I didn't know. First pitch to Ryan McCarthy. Low ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So Cameron Rapetti, who's been with the High Whalers, as you know, all year, was the first ever pitcher for the High Whalers. Started opening night back in May 21st as McCarthy takes low ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. And, you know, we've certainly talked about Rapetti having pitched with Billings last year. Apparently, we were never informed. I was never informed. Rapetti, as the pitch here, grounded to second base. Up with the baseball Leday, and he will throw to Gonzalez at first. And McCarthy is out. 1 down And that'll bring up the second baseman, Gabe Howell, with the game no score, Yolo and Glacier here in the first inning. Apparently, Repetti, and this is incredibly embarrassing that I did not know this, that we've known Cameron all summer, that Cameron began his pro career with the Range Riders, not with Billings. Yes, he pitched predominantly with Billings last year, but apparently his first few games of pro ball were with Glacier. First pitch to Howell inside, ball one, and the next pitch low and in, ball two. 2 balls, no strikes to Howell, who in that 17-3 Glacier win at Missoula to wrap up the first round last Friday. Game in Missoula. Howell was 3 for 4 with 4 runs scored and a walk, and he swings and misses at a high fastball. And that's strike one. 2 balls and a strike. I'm not faulting anyone. You know, we are given certain information, and, you know, I go to Baseball Reference and other material as Howell hits one high and foul over the luxury box wooden roof to my right. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no score, bottom of the first, Yolo Glacier. And everything we had on Repetti was related to Billings. The windup in the 2-2, and Howell was swinging a miss to the breaking pitch down to the way, strike 3. And he is out. Howell, who hit .322 in the regular season, and a guy who is in his 3rd year now with Glacier. Down on strikes, 2 away, no score. And now, here in the bottom of the first, Chad Castillo, the left fielder, comes up. So when I met Scott tonight, he said, well, it'd be kind of interesting with Repetti, being that, you know, he's pitched with us at one point. Now the pitch on the way is a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. And I said, what do you mean he pitched? You know, I know he was with Billings last year. You mean he pitched maybe against Glacier? He goes, no, he pitched for Glacier. Castillo grounds one foul up along third, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes with a game no score. Bottom of the first, Yolo Glacier. And what happened was on all of the stat portals, they combined the numbers for Repetti between Glacier and Billings. The 0-2 out of the windup. Hit softly foul on the line, third base side. And the count holds at no balls and 2 strikes. Nothing, bottom of the first, Yolo and Glacier. So, and again, you know, I talked to Repetti, nothing ever came up about Glacier. The pitch outside, 1-2. So we went to the stat portal, and Scott, the Gladstone, the Glacier broadcaster, showed me. Said, yeah, Repetti made 2 starts and then got released and picked up by Billings. And that was it. The windup of the 1-2, and that swung on and driven high in the air toward center field. Since Skinner going back, and he'll be there to make the catch on the warning track and straightaway center. So Castillo is out, and each team goes in order in the first. Anyway, moral of the story, Repetti was 2-0 last year in it was actually relief appearances, 2 relief appearances for Glacier, and then they let him go, and Billings picked him up. So what we learn after a full season or thereabout, thinking of a guy and do enough research, Repetti actually began as a Glacier Range Rider. So there you have it, folks. So he begins well so far tonight with a perfect first after an inning, no score. Yolo and Glacier on YouTube Live. After an inning from Glacier Bank Park here in Kalispell, Montana. It is no score, each team in order in the first. And Jose Gonzalez leads it off against Caleb Sophie. Gonzalez, Blackford, and Glancy to face Sophie, who is making his first appearance of the postseason. Starting pitcher in Game 2 of the prior series for Missoula was Cooper Benson, who we'll see later in this series. Gonzalez gets it going. No score, top of the second in the pitch, and Jose takes, and that's high ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. And Patrick Wicklander, who we'll see tomorrow, he was the starting pitcher in Game 1. So Sophie, I think safe bet, would have pitched if there had been a Game 3, would have pitched game, I don't know that factually, but I think safe to say would have pitched in that one. Count to Gonzalez at 1-1, and Jose, who homered in the first inning of Game 3 a few nights ago in Oakland, takes strike 2 on the outside corner. And the count's at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Gonzalez, Blackford, Glancy to face Sophie, who kicks and the 1-2, and Jose a swing and a miss at a curve, strike 3. He is out. The catcher, Gugliano, picks up the ball and has to throw it to the first baseman, Fitzgerald, and Gonzalez is out. Catcher and Gugliano pretty much trailed Gonzalez down that first baseline, almost like he was trying to tag him and then just lobbed it over to the first baseman and Fitzgerald. So strikeout, put out goes 2-3, 1 out. Second strikeout for Sophie. And now Braden Blackford, who is the DH tonight, he will bat. Outfield around to the left, and Braden takes, and that's outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. I mentioned Sophie just struck out Gonzalez, and those two were teammates last year at Williamsport in the MLB Draft League. The windup in the 1-0 pitch, and that swung on and foul tipped into the glove of the catcher, Gugliano. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Blackford. 326 in the regular season, 13 homers, 65 RBIs. Sidestep, however, almost a quick pitch right there by Sophie, and that is low ball 2-1, and looked like he was rocking back out of the windup. Next thing you know, wham, he fired it in there. 2 balls and a strike. Big hole in right center. The full windup, deliberate full windup now in the pitch, and that's outside ball 3 to Braden Blackford. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Blackford 1 for 11 in the series against Oakland. Did have a couple of RBIs. Was 0 for 3 on Friday night in Game 3. The kick in the 3-1, and that slapped past the diving third baseman Kirtley, and in the left field a base hit. Kirtley moved to his left in the direction of shortstop, trying to come up with that ball, and Braden Blackford, well, new series, new result in a positive way. He is the first base runner for either side. Appropriately, here we are. Obviously, this is going to be the last series of the year, no matter what. Remember, Braden Blackford back on May 21st had the first hit ever in the history of the High Wheelers, and he has the first hit of this series. So now David Glancy will come to the plate, and Sophie from the set misses low and in, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes to Glancy. Now, he homered in Game 3 a few nights ago in Oakland, 3 for 9 in that series. And the pitch here, Glancy is swinging a miss at a fastball down and in, strike 1. And the count is at 1 ball and 1 strike to David Glancy. Blackford at first, being held on by Fitzgerald. No score, top of the second. And the pitch, and Glancy swings, and a tap from the ground, the turf third base side, and Sophie, the pitcher, comes off the mound and can't get a grip on the baseball, can't get it with his glove, that is, and everybody is safe, so Blackford is second, and David Glancy is the runner at first base. They put an error up on the scoreboard there. I think it's, well, folks, you know me well enough. It's none of my business what the scorekeeper decides. Generally speaking, a play like that generally is ruled a hit, but that is not my department. So anyway, as I've always said, the scorekeeper doesn't tell me how to broadcast. I don't tell the scorekeeper how to do his or her job. So Glancy is at first, and now it's Smith who takes a strike on the outside corner. And the count's no balls and 1 strike to Tanner Smith. So, a 1-out threat for the High Wheelers. Blackford's at second, Glancy's at first. The pitch, and Tanner is swinging a miss. Quickly strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to Tanner Smith. Series against Oakland was 5 for 11. You'll recall he had the 5 RBI game in game 1. So all 5 of his RBIs in that series were in that one game. Outfield around to the left. Runners at first and second, and Sophie from the set looks back at second base. And the pitch to Smith, that's very high for a ball. And the count moves now to 1 ball and 2 strikes with the game 0-0 here in the top half of the second inning. Runners lead at first and second, and the pitch, and strike 3 called outside corner. And I guess Smith is not going to challenge that one. So that is the 3rd strikeout for Caleb Sophie. So that keeps runners at first and second. 2 out, and now it's Kirkland Banks who will come to the plate to face Sophie. And the pitch on the way to Kirkland, and that's tapped foul up along third, strike 1. And the count moves to no balls and 1 strike to Kirkland Banks. So it's been a while since Sophie has pitched, at least in any, I guess you could say, competitive environment. I don't mean throwing on the side or intra-squad games. Got to go back to September 6th, though. That was Friday, September 6th, a game at Ogden. Runners at first and second, and the pitch to Banks swung on, line left field, base hit. Blackford is going to be waved to the plate. Castillo, the left fielder, up with the ball. His throw home in more than enough time. Blackford is out by 1.5 miles. Throw taken on 1 hop by the catcher, Guillermo, from the left fielder, Castillo. Now, Blackford not the fastest guy, but is off on contact. Remember this, I haven't even yet to describe, I shouldn't say remember, I haven't described it yet, but this is an all-turf field. We'll talk more about that later. But the ball got out there on 1 hop to Castillo, who threw home on 1 hop, and Blackford wasn't even at the plate by the time he slid. He is out 7-2 on the putout at the plate. No runs, 3 hits, no error, 1 error. Let me correct that. No runs on, there were 2 hits. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left. 0-2-1-2. We go to the bottom of the second, no score. Yolo and Glacier on YouTube Live. On we go to the bottom half of the second inning. It is 0-0, Yolo and Glacier. And the first pitch on the way to Christian Kirtley is a strike called on the outside corner, 0-1. 4, 5, and 6 to face Cameron Rapetti. No score here, bottom second, and the pitch, and Kirtley takes, and that's a strike on the inner half. 0-2 the count. Kirtley, Liniak, and Fitzgerald to face Rapetti, who grew up in Orange County, 23 years old. The windup and the pitch off the plate for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Currently in the regular season, 289 with 20 homers to lead the Range Riders. The windup of the 1-2, outside 2-2. He has 35 homers all time in a Glacier uniform, 20 this year in the regular season, 15 last year. The all-time leader in Glacier Range Rider history, which is now a 3-year-old franchise, in home runs as he swings here and grounds one foul up along third. And that is strike 2. The count is now at 2 balls and 2 strikes from the former Range Rider in 2 relief outings last year, and Cameron Rapetti. Outfield fairly deep straightaway. 0-0. Curtly holds the bat up high, and the pitch slapped to shortstop, but quickly to the shortstop Marine on that turf, and he'll throw across to Gonzalez at first. And Curtly is retired. 1 out here in the second inning. 0-0. Yolo and Glacier. And here is the center fielder in Kingston Liniak. 8 homers in the regular campaign to go along with 29 RBIs and a .347 clip. The windup and the pitch, and Liniak goes around too far. Pitch down and in. Strike 1-0-1. Mentioned the AstroTurf here, and that's what it is. It's an all-turf field. That includes the brown base path. There's the pitch here, and that's low and in for a ball. 1-1 with the game 0-0. Yolo and Glacier, bottom of the second. And that's pretty much been the in thing now with most teams, is the all-turf surface, the 1-1. And that is high, ball 2. And the count's now at 2 balls and 1 strike to Liniak. So the bases, as Liniak fouls onto the screen, 2-2, what you would picture, the dirt, obviously the base paths and all that. That's all sponge. It's not actual dirt. The mound is an artificial carpeted mound. The chalk lines are turf. Liniak swings here, flies one to right. Tanner Smith looking into the early evening sky, and he makes the catch, and Liniak is out. 2 down. 5 straight retired by Rapetti to commence his evening with the game 0-0. Yolo and Glacier. And that'll bring up the first baseman and Ben Fitzgerald. So, obviously with, when it perhaps, here we are now past the halfway point of September, and, we're getting into the rainy and probably soon to be snowy period as the pitch to Fitzgerald goes around too far, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike, and of course it's, you don't really have to maintain this kind of turf. Fitzgerald swings here, drives one toward left center, pretty well struck, and back to make the catch against the padded wall is David Glancy. Well, we saw him make a home run saving catch against Brett Barrera of Oakland last Thursday, and takes away extra bases from Fitzgerald. Second perfect inning in a row for Rapetti. We go to the third tonight from Northwest Montana. It is 0-0 Yolo and Glacier. Game 1 of the Pioneer League Championship Series on YouTube Live. On we go to the third inning tonight from Glacier Bank Park here in the town of Kalispell. We're a little in the outskirts. I guess you could call much of Montana the outskirts, but a little to the north of Kalispell, almost maybe halfway between here and Whitefish. But we are in Kalispell. Angel Mendoza hits one foul, leading off the third inning from Caleb Sophie. It's at foul third base side, strike 1-0-1 to the right-handed batting catcher, and Angel Mendoza after that, the top of the YOLO order for the center fielder Skinner and then Marine. 9-1-2 to face Sophie, who kicks and delivers, and Mendoza takes a breaking pitch for a strike on the inner half, 0-2. All right, we got clarification. That ball that Glancy at that little dribbler up along the third base line in the second inning was changed to a hit. Mendoza swings here and hits one high and deep down the left field line and foul. And the count remains at 0-2 with a game no score. YOLO and Glacier top of the third inning. So, as I said, it's one of those where you thinking, how would that be an error? And it was not. The 0-2, and Mendoza swings and drives this one foul down toward the Glacier left field bullpen. No balls, 2 strikes. Nothing, top of the third inning. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live. From Kalispell, Montana. So anyway, Glancy does get credit for an infield single. So the second inning for YOLO, the revised totals, no runs, 3 hits, no errors. And yes, they still left 2. 0-2 the count. The full windup and the pitch, and that's very high to Mendoza, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Angel Mendoza, who we've talked about his struggles offensively this year with a 192 average, but was a big part of the offense in the series against Oakland. The windup in the 1-2, and that's the expression in the dirt, even though we've told you there is no dirt here, but in the home plate area. I'm going to use that expression in the dirt. I think most of you know what I'm referencing if the ball is low. The windup in the 2-2, and a high fastball there. That's not in the dirt, and that's strike 3. Swing and a miss. Mendoza could not catch up to the heater there. 4th strikeout for Caleb Sophie. And now for the second time tonight, YOLO will go to the top of its order for the center fielder, Braylon Skinner. Mentioned this before about Sophie. It's been a while since he has pitched. Got to go back to a start he made on September 6th in Ogden. And no decision for him there. Now it's Skinner, who at the first pitch of the game, right back to the pitcher, Sophie, for an out. Well, Sophie did have to throw to first, but you know what I mean. Skinner takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Full deliberate windup by Sophie and the pitch, and Braylon takes low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Sophie, his last outing, 3 1/3 innings, allowed 7 hits, 6 runs all earned. A walk, 3 strikeouts, allowed 1 Raptor homer as Skinner takes outside ball 1. And the count is at 1 ball and 1 strike to Braylon Skinner as he takes low and away, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. So Sophie already with 4 strikeouts once through the order tonight. Talk more about that in a second. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Sophie kicks and delivers. That's very high. Actually, the count was at 3-1, so it's ball 4 to Skinner. So he draws a walk. And again, Skinner, 41 steals in the regular season, 4th best in the Pioneer League. And now Braylon Marine will come to the plate. Anyway, the most strikeouts this year for Sophie in a game was 9. And he did that twice. July 5th here against Great Falls. June 23rd here against Great Falls. So now Marine digs in. And the pitch to Braylon, and that's a strike called on the outside corner. And the count is at no balls and 1 strike. Mentioned Skinner with 41 steals in the regular season. He did not have a stolen base in the series against the Ballers as Marine takes high for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Braylon struck out swinging in the first. Braylon Skinner leads at first, being held on by Fitzgerald. sidestep offering, and Marine pokes one down the first base side foul. That is strike two. And the count is at 1 ball and 2 strikes against Caleb Sophie, 6'3", 185 pounds, 23 years old. Mentioned went to Shippensburg University in Pennsylvania. One ball, 2 strikes the count. Again, turn, throw to first, and back safely where the dive is Skinner. Pretty much complete darkness now here at Glacier National Park. No score, top of the third, and the pitch to Marine, and that is low and inside for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yep, pitch for the Shippensburg Raiders. Pitched a couple of seasons there, members of the Pennsylvania Athletic Conference, or Athletics Conference, to be technical, again, Division II program. Pitch to Marine. Tapper up along the turf, third base side, and no chance for the third baseman to get that. Now Skinner seeing that, and he is going to be out trying to go first to third. The third baseman, Kirtley, threw to the first baseman, Fitzgerald. There was no doubt Marine was going to be safe. Once that throw went coast to coast, Braylon Skinner, trying to use his speed, was thrown out when the return throw went back to the cinder, coast to coast. The other way. Marine gets credit for an infield single. Skinner goes the second on the single, but he is out 3-5, trying to go to third base. So you talk about a momentum shift right there. Instead of what would have been first and third, and 1 out is a runner at first and 2 out. The game still no score. Yolo Glacier, top of the third inning. So Marine, infield hit. Skinner goes to second on the single. Out trying to go to third, 3-5. That old 3-5 is going to get you every time. Fitzgerald back to Kirtley. Meanwhile, the first pitch to Bobby Leday. Swing and a miss, strike, 1-0-1. So that's 2 runners tonight who have been thrown out on the bases for the High Wheelers. The 0-1 pitch, and that's in the dirt. And Marine thought about going to second, and then it says, you know what, I don't need to be the third runner thrown out on the bases tonight. And scampers back to first. Heck, not counting first base, which is a given on an out, which is a given on what would be a typical ground out. High Wheelers almost could have run for the cycle there. They could have been thrown out tonight so far in the first 3 innings we're talking. Could have had a runner thrown out at home, third and second. Outfield fairly deep straight away. Sophie's pitch from the set, and Leday takes low and in for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. So Marine, the runner at first base with 2 out. Outfield fairly deep straight away. And the pitch, and Leday a big swing and a miss. Breaking ball down and in, and that is strike 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes from Sophie, again, formerly at Division II Shippensburg. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, so now time called. 18 games for Sophie last year with Williamsport in the MLB Draft League. But this is really his first full season now of professional baseball. Again, 5-6 in the regular campaign with 17 appearances, all as a starter for Caleb Sophie. Of course, these 2 teams did not see each other at all in the regular season. As the pitch on the way, Leday, change-up, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Leday is down on strikes, 5th strikeout for Sophie. 1 hit, 1 left after 2.5 from Montana tonight. It is Yolo nothing and Glacier nothing on YouTube Live. On we go to the bottom of the third inning. Still a bunch of zeros up there. Yolo and Glacier. And Anthony Atwood to lead it off for the first pitch to Andy. I think I called him Anthony. Andy Atwood, a breaking ball. Swing and a miss, strike, 1-0-1. Atwood, Pinner, and Guillermo to face Cameron Rapetti. Is the 0-1 pitch, and that's a strike called on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes to Atwood. Former White Sox farmhand, 282, 10 homers on the year, 62 runs batted in. The windup and the pitch, and that swung on and chopped toward third. In to grab the ball on the quote-unquote grass portion of the diamond is Banks, and he'll throw across to Gonzalez at first. And Atwood is out, 1 down. And now the designated hitter will come up and Ty Pinner. Lone Canadian on this team. 6 homers, 29 RBIs with a 205 average in the regular season for Pinner, who sort of built like a player would be from Canada, albeit a hockey player. So he swings and hits one past the mound and up the middle, and all the second baseman Lede can do is slide to keep the ball in the vicinity of the infield, but a clean infield hit for Ty Pinner. That's the first hit and base runner tonight for Glacier. And now here is the catcher, Freddie Guillermo. Pinner, 6'4", 220 pounds, 24 years old. Guy had been in the Phillies system, and he is built. He's built like a defenseman in hockey. He's built like a guy that's just going to come in and cause trouble. Now it's Guillermo. I'm talking on the rink, not on the diamond. As the pitch to Guillermo is taken for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 the count. 182 for Guillermo, 4 homers. 29 runs batted in for the native of the Dominican Republic. Guillermo had been in the Astros system, and he swings and misses at a high fastball. Strike 2, 1-2. A lot of these players for Glacier formerly in major league organizations. I'd say far more than high-wheelers. As Rapetti again set. First base side of the rubber. First time we're seeing him from the set tonight, and that's poked foul. Defensive 2-strike swing by Guillermo. Pokes it foul right side. No balls, 2 strikes the count. With a game no score, Yolo and Glacier, bottom of the third. I mean, you look at Guillermo from the Astros chain, Pinner from the Philly system, McCarthy, who's on deck, playing the Twin system. Got a couple of players who've been in the White Sox chain. We mentioned Atwood. Outfield medium depth straight away. 0-0. Guillermo, who chokes up a couple of inches, and the pitch just off the plate. Close pitch there, ball 1 from Rapetti. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And this is a coaching staff for Glacier that has a lot of major league connections. The pitch, and that's high for a ball, and snap throw to first. Pinner back safely with a dive. The catcher Mendoza to the first baseman Gonzalez. 1 ball, 2 strikes, a count with 1 out. But Paul Fletcher, the manager for Glacier, second season with Glacier, first year as manager for them. Rapetti deals, and Guillermo takes high for a ball. And that's ball 3 now, so 3-2 the count. 0-0 Yolo Glacier. Bottom of the third inning in complete darkness here in Glacier, or as some of us say in the business, lights in full effect. 3-2. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball in the inner half of the plate, strike 3. Second strikeout for Rapetti, so 2 out. And now for the second time tonight, Glacier will go to the top of its order for the right fielder and Ryan McCarthy. Grounded to second base his first time. So Pinner at first. And the pitch, and that's outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. But Paul Fletcher, brief big league career as a pitcher with the Phillies and the A's, but back in the 90s, but veteran baseball guy. Was the pitching coach last year for them. The 1-0 pitch to McCarthy, and he looks at a strike on the outside corner. And the count is at 1 ball and 1 strike with the game 0-0 Yolo Glacier, bottom of the third. So Pinner still at first, draws a throw over. Gonzalez there to take it, and Pinner back safely with a dive. And then Tommy Thompson, long time minor league farm director, been last with the White Sox as the pitch on the way is outside ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, and that's the connection that a few of these players have with Tommy Thompson from his days as the White Sox in the White Sox minor league system. The pitch on the way, and that's a strike called on the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You look at McCarthy and Andy Atwood, both were brought over from the connection of Tommy Thompson. The 2-2 pitch, and that's in the dirt, and it kicks away from Mendoza along the third base line, and Pinner up to second base on the wild pitch. So runner at second now with 2 out, and that could change things here. The count is at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Got 3-2 the count. Nothing with Howell on deck. And the pitch, swing and a high fly ball foul down the right field side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And then Stu Peterson is the bench coach. That last name sounds familiar. Well, he's got a son who's had a pretty good big league career by the name of Jock Peterson, now with the Diamondbacks. Stu had a little bit of big league time as a player, as an outfielder in the mid-'80s with the Dodgers, but certainly a long minor league career as a Dodger farmhand. But, Tommy Thompson, in a long time throughout the Pioneer League, when the Pioneer League was affiliated, Tommy Thompson managed Great Falls as a White Sox skipper. The kick of the 3-2, swing and a tapper that'll kick foul up along first. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So they got some veteran names on this Glacier coaching staff, including a guy that had a long big league career as a player with the likes of the Phillies and the Mets, Todd Pratt, who helps run one of the summer wooden bat leagues in this area, but usually when the Range Riders are home, he will sit on the bench and help out with player procurement and serves as an advisor as well. The 3-2 here, and that's low inside, ball 4 to McCarthy. So he's on base for the first time tonight. McCarthy was on base a lot in Game 2 and back on last Friday, the 13th. That 17-3 Glacier win against Missoula that sent Glacier to the championship series. McCarthy had 2 hits and 4 RBIs, and 3 of those 4 RBIs setting the tone on a 3-run homer in the second inning, in which the Range Riders pretty much took it from there. So now it's Howell and Repetti's pitch, and Howell check swing tapper, first base side of the mound. Repetti up with it, and he's going to have to hustle himself to the bag. And he gets there just ahead of Howell. Gonzalez, the first baseman. Jose moved to his right, and he took himself way out of that play. And Repetti had the angle, but that's the only thing he could do. He had to just say, you know what, I'm going to have to take it myself. Almost looks like a quarterback whose only angle is to have the football hit the orange cone in the front corner of an end zone. That's what Repetti did right there. Had to hustle over and take the angle, and the only player who could to get the one unassisted on that check swing by Howell. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. We go to the 4th. Still 0-0, YOLO and Glacier. This is Game 1 of the 2024 Pioneer League Championship Series on YouTube Live. Moving along to the top half of the fourth. 0-0. Yolo and Glacier. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the High Wheelers. No runs hit, no errors for the Range Riders. Jose Gonzalez leads it off. And the Yolo first baseman takes outside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. Middle third of the Yolo order. As Sophie delivers, and Gonzalez flies this one foul left side. Strike 1. Ball and a strike to Jose. Then it's Blackford and Glancy to face Sophie, who was originally from Orwigsburg, Pennsylvania. No, I have never been there. Meaning Orwigsburg. I've been to Pennsylvania, just not that town. The 1-1 pitch taken for a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Gonzalez struck out swinging. Slash was put out 2-3 in the second inning, and he takes up and in for a ball. 2-2 between two teammates from, as I said last year, from Williamsport in the MLB Draft League, Gonzalez and Sophie. So they know each other. Sophie, long, curly black hair out of the back of his green cap. So Sophie at Shippensburg University. The kick on the 2-2. Swing and a tapper off the glove of Sophie. The ball caroms toward the second baseman in Howell, and his understandably hasty throw gets past the first baseman Fitzgerald, but Gonzalez will get as far as first base. Sophie, once that ball went off his glove, he really had no chance to get an out on that one. I mean, that was pretty much no doubt he was going to, Gonzalez is going to be safe there. And the only question was whether or not he'd get the second, but he ran through the bag, so he was already running in the direction of the right field line. And the first baseman, Fitzgerald, had to go pick up the ball after that. Now it's Blackford. Swings and misses, strike 1-0-1. Fitzgerald had to get the ball over toward the Yolo first base dugout. So we'll see how that is ruled. I've been told not to trust the scoreboard. So all I will tell you is that Gonzalez is safe at first. That should be a hit. It's not one of those where you really pin the error on the pitcher on that one. Pitcher usually is treated differently. If he has trouble fielding the ball, I mean, if he drops a pop-up or something, that's an error. Obviously a throwing error, that's a different deal. But Sophie, 2 years at Shippensburg, and then last year was at Williamsport. 2-3 at Williamsport in the MLB Draft League for the Crosscutters with a 6.35 earned run average. I don't know if there's an equipment issue, but time was called by the plate umpire and crew chief Tony Prater, and like there was some adjustment of, I don't know, it was the catcher Giuliano or the pitcher Sophie. Regardless, Gonzalez at first, and the pitch is outside. Ball 1 to Braden Blackford. And the count is at 1 ball and 1 strike. Braden had the first hit for either team tonight. There was a single to left in the second inning, and then he was eventually in that inning thrown out trying to score on a single. He was trying to score from second as the pitch to Blackford is outside, ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Gonzalez at first base stole 11 bases in the regular season and was caught 4 times. Outfield fairly deep straight away for Blackford, who sports white batting gloves. Sidestep offering, and Braden takes, and that's outside, ball 3. 3-1 now to Blackford. Along with those white batting gloves, Braden and his Yolo teammates in the gray shirts tonight. Gray shirts, gray pants, Yolo in big black letters spelled across the front of the shirt. Yellow number on the front, black number on the back. As the pitch to Blackford is a strike on the outside corner, 3-2. The Range Riders in the home white uniforms tonight. Sort of looking like Park Rangers. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Turn, throw to first, and back safely with a Dive is Gonzalez. Try it again at 3-2. And the pitch, and Blackford swings and misses. High fastball, strike 3. And he is out. 6 strikeouts now for Sophie. And now David Glancy will come up. Yeah, the Range Riders, the home white uniforms, Range Riders, 2 words, much like high wheelers. Range Riders, sort of light green, or Park Ranger light green letters, spelling Range Riders across the front of the uniform. Red number on the front, green number on the back, going with the Park Ranger color-like green hat. Glancy, an infield single in the second inning. 0-0, top of the fourth, and Sophie from the set delivers, and Glancy flies this ball to left field, and gliding to his left to make the catch is Castillo. And Glancy is retired for the first time tonight. 2 down. And now here is the right fielder, Tanner Smith. They're at Glacier Bank Park, which opened, well, once the Range Riders got here back in 2022, so the 3rd year of existence for the Glacier Range Riders. So you have a 3rd-year franchise against a first-year franchise in the championship round. Now Smith bats, and the pitch to Tanner with Gonzalez at first. Outside ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. It's 328 down the left field line. 376 to left center. 406 to straightaway center. 380 to right center. And 338 down the right field line. As the 1-0 on the way, low outside, and then gets past the catcher Guiano to the backstop. And seeing that on the wild pitch, Gonzalez moves to second. So runner at second base now with 2 out. And the count's at 2 balls and no strikes. 0-0. Yolo and Glacier. Now you heard me mention 406 feet to straightaway center. As Gonzalez leads at second, the pitch to Smith way up and in. And that's ball 3. And the count is now at 3 balls and no strikes with the game no score. Yolo and Glacier, top half of the 4th inning. Those of you area code buffs probably know why it's 406 feet to straightaway center. 3-0 on the way to Smith. That's low outside, ball 4. So Tanner draws a walk. And that is the second walk issued by Sophie. So more of a 2-out threat now for Yolo with the third baseman, Kirkland Banks, coming up. That's right, the area code for Montana is 406. That's right. And I mean, this is a big, big state. Not the most populated state, but and look, I think most of you know that Montana's a big state. You don't have a lot of population. It's a lot of flat land, a lot of mountains, a lot of natural beauty here. No doubt about it. I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous territory. It's first time that I have ever been to this part of Montana. I had never been to the Kalispell, Flathead Valley area. And the Glacier National Park region. From where we are right now to Glacier National Park is maybe 40 minutes, if that. Let's go north, really more toward the northwest of here. And, I mean, just, I mean, beauty just doesn't even describe how nice this area is. And I've heard a lot about how pretty this region is. I've certainly talked to people who've been here, seen pictures and all that, but to see it for myself, wow. Now it's Kirkland Banks, 2 on, 2 out. Turn, throw back to second, and back safely with a dive is Gonzalez with the second baseman Howell taking the throw from the pitcher Sophie. So Kirkland had that single in the second inning, and then on that same play was Blackford thrown out trying to score from second. As the pitch on the way to Banks, and that's inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. But anyway, Montana, as big a state as this is, I mean, that expands from the Idaho border on one side all the way to North Dakota on the other. As Banks swings and misses at a breaking ball. 1-1. south toward the Wyoming border and north to the borders of Saskatchewan and Alberta and British Columbia. It's one area code, 406. As the pitch here, and that's low and in for a ball. I believe the count should be at 2 balls and 1 strike to Kirkland Banks. So anyway, that's why the center field dimension is 406, obviously, that being the area code in this state. I believe the count's at 2 balls and a strike. So Gonzalez at second, Smith at first. And the pitch on the way to Banks. And that is high ball 3. Although Glacier would like to challenge that, I believe. So the first challenge of the championship series. And it's been confirmed a ball. So the Range Riders have 2 challenges left. So 3 balls and 1. I believe the count should be at 3 and 1. As the pitch, and that swung on and driven to right field. McCarthy is right there, and an easy catch for Ryan McCarthy. And Banks is out, and so are the Highwheelers, who certainly have had their chances tonight. No runs. By the way, Gonzalez, that's an infield single. I think I failed to follow up on that. Led off with an infield hit. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still no score. Yolo and Glacier, 2024 Pioneer League Championship Series on YouTube Live. Well, on we go to the 4th inning, the bottom of the 4th that is, with the game. 0-0, Yolo and Glacier. No runs, 5 hits, no errors for Yolo. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Glacier. Cameron Rapetti's first pitch to Chad Castillo is outside, ball 1. I mentioned Yolo's had chances tonight. They've stranded 5 through 4 innings. Castillo, Kirtley, and Liniak to face Rapetti, who's got 2 strikeouts so far. And Castillo is swinging a miss at a changeup on the outer half, strike 1. A ball and a strike to Chad Castillo, the all-time leader in single-season doubles in Glacier history, as he takes low to the backstop. Ball 2. Well, the count's down with 2 balls and 1 strike. Castillo had 36 doubles in the regular season, and then in the 2-game series in which Glacier swept Missoula, Castillo had 4 doubles in that series, the 2-1, and that's tapped foul at the plate, strike 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Chad Castillo, who hit .352 in the regular season with 11 homers and 89 runs batted in. So again, mention these 2 teams, first time they've ever met. Yolo did not play any of the Montana teams this year, whether it be home or away. And the only series in which the Range Riders played a California team as a 2-2 outside 3-2. The Range Riders were the first ever opponent for the Oakland Ballers, who open up here on May 21st. So two teams feeling each other out right now. The lineup in the 3-2. That's low and in. Ball 4, leadoff walk. Second walk issued by Rapetti. And now the third baseman will come to the plate, Christian Kirtley. So you obviously got the two heavyweights still fighting, Yolo and Glacier. And as I said, it's sort of like, two heavyweight boxers with whom are unfamiliar. And it's, as I say, you're just sort of feeling each other out for the first few rounds. Now it's Kirtley, and he pops one up foul over the roof right side, strike one. No balls and a strike. And I texted Cameron Rapetti today, the Yolo starter. I said, how familiar are you with these Range Riders? He said, not at all. Castillo at first. Kirtley grounded a shortstop at the second. There at Glacier Bank Park. Capacity is 4,000. That's if you stuff everybody down the grassy berm and right and in luxury boxes and all that. Fixed seating is 2,500. As the pitch here popped up. Shallow right field. And in comes the right fielder, Tanner Smith, who makes the catch. So Tanner Smith making the easy play right there in right field. Castillo back to first base, so now Liniak comes up. So an actual, as I said, fixed seats. Those green seats, seat backs, you come to the ballpark, the seating bowl, that's 2,500. But if you want to anger the fire chief, you can stuff as many as 4,000 folks into this stadium. Now it's Liniak who digs in. And the pitch on the way, and that's low, ball one. And the count is at 1 ball and no strikes, although is Yolo going to challenge that? I think they are.
After review, the pitch is overturned to a strike.
And challenge successful. Challenge is successful, so instead of it 1-0, the count's at no balls and a strike. Liniak, he flied to right field in the second inning, and the pitch on the way from Rapetti is high, ball one. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. To Liniak, who holds the bat way above his green helmet, sporting red batting gloves. Rapetti from the set deals, and that's taken low, ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, Castillo, he is the runner at first base. 2 steals in the regular season and was caught twice. Nothing, bottom of the fourth. Yolo and Glacier. And the pitch on the way, and that's taken at the knees for a strike, 2-2. Glacier finished last in the league in hitting. Team average of 286. Yolo finished second in the league in hitting, a team clip of 306. The kick on the 2-2, and that's right down the middle, strike 3. Now, for the moment, it's strike 3. Liniak, the batter, would like that challenged. Looked to be a good pitch from here. But it's been overturned to a ball, says the track man. So instead of Liniak being out, the count's full at 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Nothing, Yolo and Glacier. And now the 3-2 pitch, Castillo goes. Liniak takes, and that is low inside, ball 4. So from what appeared to be strike 3 with a runner at first and 2 out, his first and second with 1 out. Second walk of the inning allowed by Rapetti. A third walk allowed for him tonight. The second time tonight, the Range Riders have had 2 runners on at the same time. So now it's Fitzgerald who flied to left field his first time. Middle infield looking to turn 2. And the pitch. Fastball swing and a miss, strike one. No balls and a strike to Fitzgerald, who is 25 years old. He's from the northern part of Iowa. He's from Mason City, Iowa. And looked like he was going to give up baseball and become a firefighter. The kick in the 0-1. And that's off the glove of the catcher Mendoza to the backstop. And the runners advance. So Castillo goes to third. Leniak to second. Castillo has to track that ball down. And now it's got a little more serious. Second and third. Infield will play back. The count is a 1-1 strike. So they'll concede a run right here. And the pitch, and Fitzgerald takes that. That hit him. Now that was heading to the backstop, but once the ball hit him, of course, it's a dead ball. So that loads the bases. I think that got him on his right arm. So Rapetti, unfortunately, now remember, tough break with Leniak because he should have been out on that challenge. Well, he should have been out, but then the challenge worked in his favor. And that kept that plate appearance going. So Leniak went to third on that pass ball, or Castillo went to third on that pass ball. Leniak moved up to second. But regardless, I mean, Rapetti still had a chance to record that out on. Leniak didn't. So it's been 2 full count walks, a passed ball, and a hit batter in this fourth. And now Rapetti in big trouble. And it's Atwood who comes out. Anyway, Fitzgerald, we're talking about, looked like he was going to give up baseball and settled in his home state of Iowa and be a firefighter. So he took the firefighter's exam, passed that, and then as it turned out, Glacier called him and wanted him to play. Now the pitch to Atwood, line toward second, diving catch, Lene flips to the shortstop, Marine, and out with a dive is Leniak, double play. That saves likely 2 runs. What probably would have been first and third with 1 out and 2 runs in. And who knows where the inning goes. Instead, we go to the 5th with the game still scoreless. Bobby Leday, what a play. Line drive double play goes 4-6. Leday to the shortstop, Marine, doubling off Leniak at second. And the High Wheelers come running off the field, and this crowd that was building up and building up and building up like you blow up a balloon and all the air just went right out of that balloon. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 stranded. What a play by Leday. On to the 5th. Still 0-0, Yolo and Glacier. YouTube Live, Game 1, 2024 Pioneer League Championship Series. Well, we go to the top of the 5th inning, still buzzing about that unbelievable play by Bobby Leday that turned into a inning-ending double play. Angel Mendoza leads it off with the first pitch from Caleb Sophie. Big curve, swing and a miss, strike 1. No ball. I was right the first time. No balls and 1 strike to count. Mendoza. So it'll be Mendoza, and then the top of the YOLO order for the center fielder Skinner, and then Marine. As Angel takes a pitch off the plate for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. No runs, 5 hits, no errors for YOLO. No runs, 1 hit. No errors for Glacier. The windup in the 1-1, very high, ball 2, 2-1. And, you go back to game 1 of the playoffs a week ago today at home against Oakland. Great play that Braylon Marine made up the middle. It turned into a force at second in an inning where nobody scored. As Mendoza takes low and in, and that hit him. So Mendoza down to first base as he is hit with a pitch. Well, remember Mendoza last week last Friday, the final game of the first round of the playoffs, Mendoza was hit with a pitch to open the 7th inning, and that turned into a 2-run inning. So we'll see what happens here. But that play last week that Braylon Marine made to save a run and end an inning without anyone scoring, and I think Bobby Leday might have done him one better. Top of the order for the third time for YOLO. It's the center fielder, Braylon Skinner. And he takes outside, ball 1. And the count is at 1 ball and no strikes. With the game no score here, YOLO and Glacier. And I don't know, Sophie might be hurt. Manager Paul Fletcher on his way to the mound. Along with the trainer. So everybody on the mound right now. But as great a play as Braylon Marine made last week. I mean, that, who knows, you never know where these series are going to go necessarily, but I mean, they said that in a way turned that game around, could have turned that game around, but that play tonight a moment ago by Bobby Leday, they struggled a little bit of late defensively, but what a play right there. That line drive catch moving to his right, diving catch, and able to double off Liniak at second base. Mentioned Sophie. I'm not sure if he is hurt, but I think they're pointing the bullpen down, and he's going to come out. So, we have I guess an unexpected trip to the bullpen. I don't believe anybody been warming up. The bullpens, by the way, the YOLO bullpen deep down the right field line, and Glacier the same distance down the left field side. Count to Skinner is at 1 ball and no strikes, so the new pitcher, whoever it'll be for Glacier, will inherit a 1-0 count. So the bullpens, I say, down the lines, they are in play. And what I mean in play, meaning on the field. So the new pitcher for Glacier will be right-hander Justin Coleman. So he will get as much time as he needs to warm up. So why don't we take a look at some other scores? As most of you know, we're the only game going on in the Pioneer League. It's always, believe me, I've not called a lot of championship series, folks. This is my 28th year doing this. 2015, 2018, 2022. No, it's 21 as well. Forgot 21 there. We just went right with Fresno. We just went right from the regular season to the championship round. So I guess that would still be considered the championship round. This is my 5th championship series. 2015 with Fresno, 2018 with Fresno, both those AAA championship level series, Pacific Coast League level championship series, and then California League with Fresno in 21 and in 22. So it's my fifth one in 28 years. So not used to having the, not used to sharing the stage, so to speak, with just one other person, who tonight, of course, happens to be Scott Gladstone of Glacier. Giants and Baltimore, two teams in totally opposite directions. Baltimore heading for the playoffs. The Giants, unfortunately, are not, but the Giants tonight were the much better team. The Giants a 6-run ninth en route to a 10-0 win at Baltimore. Blake Snell, 6 shutout innings, gave up just a hit, 2 walks, and struck out 12. Former Oriole farmhand Mike Yastrzemski led off that game with a home run, his 16th of the year. Now Coleman delivers, and this is bunted in the air, and it's going to be caught easily in foul ground by the third baseman, Kirtley. So Braylon Skinner obviously trying to bunt Mendoza up to second base, and instead he has a long walk back toward that yellow first base dugout. So Skinner is out trying to bunt in foul territory. So 1 out, and now it's Braylon Marine who comes up. Yeah, the Giants tonight got a couple of hits from Lamont and Wade. I'm sure that must have felt good for Lamont and Wade, who is from Baltimore, that area. He had a couple of RBIs, I'm sure in front of a lot of friends and family. But anyway, the Giants beat up on the Orioles tonight, 10-0. A's win at the Cubs 4-3. Shea Langolier is the A's catcher, a 2-homer night. Now it's Marine, and he swings and misses at a fastball. Strike one from Justin Coleman. The game here is 0-0, top of the fifth. Yolo and Glacier. Coleman, second year of pro ball. Both have been with Glacier, as Marine is swinging a pop-up foul over the roof to my right. No balls and 2 strikes. Justin Coleman, 6'1", 213 pounds. Pretty older player for this league. He's 27. He's from Knoxville. Lead at first base by Mendoza. Not much speed there. And the pitch, third base side of the rubber, and that's high for a ball. And the count is at 1 ball and 2 strikes from Justin Coleman. 2.29 ERA in the regular season. 2-2 record, 15 appearances out of the bullpen. 1-2 here, and that's strike 3 called on the outside corner. And Braylon Marine is out, down on strikes for the second time tonight. One swinging, now looking for strikeout for Coleman. So Sophie ends up lasting 4+ innings tonight. Of course, cannot close the book on him yet. And now it's Bobby Leday. Large reason why we're still tied 0-0 is because of Leday, who swings and misses at a high fastball, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Leday with a line drive catch in the bottom of the fourth, with the bases loaded, that turned into a double play. The 0-1 here, and that's high for a ball from Justin Coleman. Now the count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. No score. Yolo and Glacier, top of the fifth. Leday takes, and that's a strike called on the inside corner. So 1 ball and 2 strikes from Coleman, who went to Bluefield University in Virginia. And this is actually his 3rd year with Glacier, not his 2nd year with the Range Riders. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, fastball, strike 3. And Leday is out. So Coleman comes on and retires all 3 batters he sees, including a pair of strikeouts. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left. Halfway done, game 1 of the 2024 Pioneer League Championship Series. The score, Yolo 0 and Glacier 0 on YouTube Live.
designated hitter Ty Penner.
Halfway done as we go to the bottom half of the fifth inning. It is no score, Yolo and Glacier. And Ty Penner leads it off from the first pitch from Cameron Petty. And Penner is swinging a miss at a breaking ball. Strike one, no balls and one strike. It'll be Penner, Guillermo, and then the top of the order for the right fielder McCarthy. 8-9-1 for Glacier is Petty winds and the pitch. And that's outside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Penner. Infield single in the third inning. He was the first range rider to reach tonight. And apparently the High Wheelers just challenged that, and it's been overturned to a strike. So instead of 1-1, the count's at 0-2 now. So no balls, 2 strikes the count. Rapetti delivers, and that's low for a ball, ball 1. And the count is at 1 ball and 2 strikes from Rapetti in the short sleeves on this very pleasant night here in northwest Montana. The 1-2, breaking ball, strike 3 called outside corner. And doesn't appear any challenge there from Penner. And Rapetti notches his third strikeout. And now here is the catcher in Freddie Guillermo, who struck out swinging in the third. But, yeah, beautiful weather we've had up here. Very comfortable temperature-wise. Now Guillermo takes a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Petty winds and the pitch, and that swung on and popped up first base side. A long run for Gonzalez, and Jose will run it down. Makes a sliding catch right near where the home plate area is located in the Yolo right field bullpen. So nice play there by Jose Gonzalez. There's a lot of foul territory here. I've discussed all the AstroTurf here, and failed to mention that there's a lot of room for foul pop-ups at Glacier Bank Park. So Guillermo fouls out to first, so 2 down. And now for the third time tonight, Glacier will go to the top of its order for the right fielder, and Ryan McCarthy with the game no score as Rapetti delivers, and McCarthy a pop-up foul left side 0-1 to the right fielder. And Ryan McCarthy, formerly in the Twin system, guy that's got power, it's got some speed, kind of your typical leadoff man. Rapetti in his second pro year, again, Cal State Fullerton alum, so 3 years at Cal State Fullerton, and went to NAIA Georgia Gwinnett College last year in his graduate season. Pitch hit foul down the left field line by McCarthy, strike 2. 0-2. Looks like there is action in the Glacier bullpen. No balls and 2 strikes the count to Ryan McCarthy. No wind at all tonight. I mean, just a very calm, sort of docile-like evening here. American flag just to the right of the batter's eye in center. Just a pitch to the right field side of the center field batter's eye. Pretty much just clinging to the pole. The windup in the 0-2. Off the plate, ball 1, 1-2. Gave you the dimensions here. The green padded wall, the forest green padded wall, is an 8-foot wall going from left field to right center, and then the wall kicks up to 16 feet the rest of the way. A 1-2 pitch up and away, ball 2, 2-2. No score. Yolo Glacier, bottom of the 5th. So, yeah, 8 feet all along. So just picture the left field foul pole. And then the video board and scoreboard here is out in left center field. So it's an 8-foot wall that runs right in front of that scoreboard, and then all the way toward right center, and then whoop, all the way up to 16 feet high is that wall toward right. Swing, ground ball, McCarthy, right field, base hit. Right fielder Smith up with the ball, and Ryan McCarthy has his first hit tonight. And now it's Gabe Howell who comes up. I don't know if you could hear in the background, they howl for Howell. And the pitch on the way is a strike on the inside corner on 1. So I mentioned a moment ago, Rapetti having gone to Georgia Gwinnett College. Well, so did Howell. So did Gabe Howell. But they were not there at the same time, the 0-1. And that's low for a ball. 1-1. Nothing, YOLO and Glacier, bottom of the 5th. As I mentioned, I told you earlier, Rapetti told me he doesn't really know any of these Glacier players. So even though they both went to Georgia Gwinnett College, remember, Rapetti was only there 1 year, and which was last year, meaning 2023, spring of 23. And Howell was there 20 and 21 swing, pop-up foul down the right field side. Strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes, nothing, YOLO and Glacier. 5th inning, bottom half. Howell is from Georgia, played so briefly in the most elementary level of pro ball, the Gulf Coast League for the Braves, only for 7 games back in 2018, as he takes very high, and great job there. The catcher Mendoza if he had a ladder, he'd have to climb to the top step to grab that ball, and did. And the count's of 2 balls and 2 strikes. McCarthy, the runner at first base. Howell 0 for 2 tonight. Outfield fairly deep straight away. And the 2 ball, 2 strike pitch from Rapetti. Momentarily from the set. Waiting. Here it is. And that swung on. High deep drive. Left field. Well hit. This ball is gone. Home run, Gabe Howell. And Glacier is the first team to crack the safe tonight. As the fireworks go off, and it is 2-0, Range Riders. Howell, who had 9 home runs in the regular season, goes deep here on a 2-run clout to left center up by that video board. So 2-0 Glacier. And now it's Chad Castillo who comes up. And he swings and drives this one to center, but Skinner is right there, and he makes the catch. I say right there to backpedal a little bit, but didn't have to go too far to do that. So Castillo flies to center, the 2-out, 2-run homer by Howell. Remember, McCarthy, who had been at the top of the order for the 3rd time, set that up with a 2-out single. So 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the 6th. Glacier 2, YOLO nothing. This is Game 1 of the 2024 Pioneer League Championship Series.
Attention, please. Now pitching for the Range Riders, number 34, Aiden McAvoy. Now looking on a string, Tracy Allen, fans out of diamond green. Top of the 6th, number 24, first baseman,
Well, the first time tonight they come back from a break, saying that a team has a lead tonight. And it's the Glacier Range Riders who have a 2-0 lead as we start the 6th inning. And a new pitcher for Glacier, left-hander Aiden McAvoy, capital M, little c, and then capital EVOY. First pitch on the way to Jose Gonzalez, low ball 1-1-0. McAvoy right back, and Gonzalez takes inside 2-0. Gonzalez, Blackford, and Glancy 3, 4, and 5 to face McAvoy. Outfield well around to the left. And the 2-0, and that's it. Foul up along first, and that's strike one. 2 balls and a strike. So Justin Coleman, who had to come in and, I guess you could say, emergency relief to eat up the 5th inning after Sophie left in earlier in that inning, apparently due to injury. Coleman, 1 perfect inning with 2 strikeouts. With 2-1, and that strike 2 called on the outside corner. 2-2. Gonzalez at infield hit his last time. Big hole out in right center field. 2-0 in favor of the Range Riders, top of the 6th. And the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, fastball, strike 3. And Gonzalez is out. Second time he has struck out. So Highwheeler batters have now struck out a total of 9 times tonight. We're only in the 6th. And now it's Braden Blackford who struck out swinging his last time. He's 1 for 2. McAvoy, 6'4", 190 pounds, 23 years old, from Georgia State University, which is in inner city Atlanta. Now Blackford out of Purdue Fort Wayne, which is in inner city Fort Wayne. Taking outside ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Blackford with Glancy on deck. Outfield around to the left. Blackford holds that bat way above his black helmet, and he swings and misses at a high fastball, strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Gabe Howell, the home run, which got Glacier on the board in the bottom of the 5th. Howell had a double in that 17-3 win a few nights ago to advance Glacier to the championship round. 1-1 pitch, strike 2 called on the outer half. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-0 Glacier, top of the 6th inning. So Howell the other night, when I say the other night, I mean last Friday, 3 for 4 with 4 runs scored. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And now time called. That 17-3 win by Glacier, they had a pair of 4-run innings, a 3-run inning, and a 5-run inning, and a 5-run 9th. The kick and the 1-2 pitch from McAvoy, and that's blown away 2-2. That game, Glacier 17 runs, 17 hits, and no errors. And Missoula was 3-5-1. But of those 17 hits, pretty much half of them were doubles. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, and Blackford swings and misses on the outer half of the plate. Fastball gets him. So McAvoy comes in, back-to-back strikeouts for him, quickly 2 down. The last 4 Highwheeler batters have struck out. Marine and Lede as outs 2 and 3 in the 5th, and Gonzalez and Blackford outs 1 and 2 in the 6th. And now it's Glancy who's 1 for 2 with a infield single. Yeah, 7 doubles the other night, so 7 of the 17 hits. The other night, and again, the other night, meaning last Friday, I guess 4 nights ago, were doubles. And then McCarthy homered and Castillo homered, so 9 of the 17, so more than half of the hits were extra base hits. 1 ball, no strike pitch to Glancy, and he looks at a strike on the inside corner. And that moves the needle now to 1 ball and 1 strike. And yeah, Castillo had 4 RBIs. McCarthy, we were talking about McCarthy earlier, had 5 RBIs. 1-1 the count. 2-0 Range Riders, and the pitch hit toward second base. To his right, Howell up with a baseball, and he'll throw to Fitzgerald at first. And Glancy is out. And the Highwheelers go in order for the second time tonight. Perfect inning for McAvoy. So far, the Glacier bullpen an inning in 2 full innings of perfect relief, accumulating 4 strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 2-0 Glacier leads YOLO on YouTube Live.
you so it's a little easier. Are you ready? All right, on your mark, get set, go. Look at that forward. That is great. Not if you just stand here and not participate. That's awesome. All right, Lucas in the sack. Off Luke goes. Lucas to the jump or to the hula hoop first. But then he's close. You gotta hurry. Now you have to get it over the backstop's head. Not the sack. The hula hoop. Oh, all right. You know what? I thought I could get away with doing nothing. Oh no, we have the mascot sign over here. All right, one more chance. Oh, you guys are close. Great job.
Moving along to the bottom of the sixth this evening from Kalispell, Montana. A 2-0 lead for the Glacier Range Riders. Again, tomorrow we'll be on same time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. 6 p.m. Pacific. You'll pick up the feed on YouTube Live. Pitching matchup tomorrow for the Yellow High Wheelers, left-hander Brandon Mitchell, and for Glacier, left-hander Patrick Wicklander. Christian Kirtley leads it off, and Cameron Rapetti's first pitch to Kirtley is inside ball 1-0. Kirtley, Liniak, and Fitzgerald 4, 5, and 6 for the Range Riders as Kirtley takes a strike on the inner half. 1 ball, 1 strike. So tomorrow, as I mentioned, 6:05 first pitch Pacific time. So we'll start the YouTube feed at 6. The 1-1, and that's low and in, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. And then Thursday we are off for the travel day. And then Friday from Dobbins Stadium, that first pitch will be at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. first pitch Pacific time on Friday. And then if we have a Game 4 or what would be then a decisive Game 5, those 2 games would also be at Dobbins Stadium Saturday and Sunday, respectively. Meanwhile, Rapetti looks like he might have pulled something. Now, you'll recall the Glacier starter, and Caleb Sophie got hurt and had to leave the game, and maybe Rapetti might have pulled something. And he's going to be allowed to take a couple of warm-ups. And you know what? I do not know the game times if there should be a Game 4 or Game 5. But I will tell you, we know that we're going to have a Game 3. So we will have that for you. As I said, that will be at 3 o'clock. Highwheelers.com. You can go to highwheelers.com for more information how to purchase tickets. Maybe I'll give out our good friend Michael Sapel's cell phone number. Call him. Rapetti appears to be okay. Swing, fly ball down the right field line, and foul by Kirtley. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Michael Sapel, our outstanding producer and director, and helping us with some technical issues earlier today. Typical stellar job from Michael. And anyway, Michael and the rest of the staff, much of the rest of the staff back back in Davis, and again getting ready for Game 3 on Friday, again at 3 o'clock Pacific. Currently behind it, no balls and 2 strikes. 2-0 Glacier. The line by Rapetti and the 2-2. Strike 3 called inside corner, and Kirtley knew it. And he is out, and that's the 4th strikeout for Rapetti. And now here is Liniak. Rapetti, again, got the win Game 1 against Oakland last Tuesday, so it's been a full week since he's worked. Now it's Liniak who hits one off of Rapetti, and the ball will just trickle over toward the shortstop Marine, and nothing Braylon can do with it. And it'll be an infield single for Liniak. That ball hit sharply. So Rapetti appears to be okay. And now it's Fitzgerald. the 6'4", 230-pound Cameron Repetti. And what will, well, possibly could be his last game of the season. Repetti, 4-2-seam fastball, cutter, curveball, and a changeup. Now the pitch on the way, hit up the middle and thrown to center, a base hit for Fitzgerald. Liniak touches second, he is on his way to third, and he will stop there as the center fielder Skinner gets the ball in towards second. Fitzgerald, his first hit tonight. And now it's first and third with one out. And that'll bring up the shortstop in Andy Atwood. So now you're really entering a danger zone right here. And for the first time tonight, action begins in the YOLO right field bullpen. Looks like Jack Zalaski, who celebrated his 24th birthday yesterday, getting loose. The pitch on the way to Atwood. Down the middle for a strike 0-1. Well, last time up, Atwood was up in a similar spot. Instead of first and third, he was up with the bases loaded and lined into that double play, that outstanding double play, started by the second baseman in Leday, which then doubled off Liniak at second. The chat of Andy, you can hear. Well, Repetti would like Andy to hit into another double play. Instead, the squeeze is on, and it's butted in the air. Caught by Repetti in front of the mound, but no throw back to third. The suicide squeeze was on. That is a rare time where the suicide squeeze doesn't work, where only one out is recorded. Well, what happened was the ball was bunted a little too high, so the runner at third, Liniak, then had time to scramble back to the bag, and Repetti, I know, wanted to throw the ball to third to try to get a double play and couldn't. So that's two outs, and now it's Ty Pinner, and he swings and he flies one toward the line in left. Glancy is there to his right, and he's got it in fair territory. So Repetti does work out at first and third and one out. Pinner now 1 for 3. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We're done with 6. Game 1 of the 2024 Pioneer League Championship Series. The score, it is Glacier 2 and YOLO nothing on YouTube Live. Moving along to the 7th inning tonight. Good one here, although it's a little better right now for Glacier. It is 2-0 in favor of the Range Riders, who go on to now pitcher number 4 tonight, and it's right-hander Nick Zegna, capital Z-E-G-N-A. Final line on Aiden McAvoy. 1 perfect inning with a couple of strikeouts. So again, the High Wheelers tonight have combined to strike out 10 times. Now we'll see what they can do against Zegna in the first pitch to Tanner Smith fouled to the screen, strike 1-0-1. It's Smith, Banks, and Mendoza. 7, 8, and 9 to face Zegna, capital Z-G-N-A. I think I just said that. Well, that's still the same. That's still true. 6'5", 225 pounds, 24 years old. Outfield around to the left, and the pitch to Tanner is outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Smith, Banks, Mendoza, bottom third of the order. Zaleski still warming for Yolo, so it's probably the end of the line for Rapetti, who for the most part has pitched very well tonight, but down 2-0 are the High Wheelers is the 1-1, and that's taken for a strike on the outside corner to Tanner. Excuse me, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Smith 0 for 1 with a walk. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch, and that's low ball 2. And the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes from Zegna. 5-3 in the regular season, 6.34 ERA. 26 games, 13 as a starter. Batters at .273 against him. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball, strike 3. And Tanner Smith is out. So first strikeout for Zegna. And now it's Kirkland Banks who comes up. Zegna last pitched on Friday night, the clincher at Missoula. Zegna went 1 inning and struck out 2. Mitch McAvoy, who preceded Zegna tonight, immediately preceded him. He also last worked on Friday. Banks swings, drives 1 to center, but to his right there to make the catch, the center fielder Liniak. And Banks is quickly the second out. Here in the top half of the 7th inning. 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for Glacier. Yolo, no runs, 5 hits, and no errors. Now it's Mendoza, who was the last High Wheeler to reach base. Remember, he was hit with a pitch in the 5th inning leading off when it was still 0-0 and never got off first base. So we'll see what happens now with Angel Mendoza against Nick Zegna. And the pitch on the way, and that's a strike called on the inside corner. And the count's at 0 balls and 1 strike from Zegna, who's from Newark, Delaware. Not Newark, Delaware. It's Newark, Delaware. Fastball, and that's a strike called on the inside corner. So quickly, 0 balls and 2 strikes from Zegna, who also went to Shippensburg University, much like tonight's starting pitcher, and Caleb Sophie is the 0-2 high for a ball, 1-2. Although he bounced around a little more than Sophie, as Zegna pitched 3 years at George Mason University in the D.C. area, Fairfax, Virginia. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Zegna delivers, and Mendoza fouls onto the plate. 1-2 the count, and then 2022, Zegna was at Shippensburg, and then last year, spring of last year, 2023, Zegna was at Kennesaw State, Division I school that plays north of Atlanta. So this is Zegna's 2nd pro year. Both pro years have been with Glacier. 2-0 Glacier, top 7, and the pitch. Mendoza swings and misses, fastball, strike 3. He is out. All 3 relievers tonight for Glacier have a pair of strikeouts. It's been 3 perfect innings for the Glacier bullpen tonight, combining to strike out 6. So nothing across for Yolo. Stretch time from Kalispell, Montana. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. The score: Glacier 2, Yolo nothing. Yolo will have a new pitcher when we get back on YouTube Live. Stretch time from Glacier Bank Park here in Kalispell, Montana, as we go to the bottom of the seventh inning. It looked like Zalaski had been up, but Ethan Bates is the pitcher coming in right now. So Bates, the new pitcher for the Yolo High Wheelers. So Cameron Rapetti, overall a good job tonight. Unfortunately, he leaves on the losing end at the moment. 6 innings tonight for Rapetti. 5 hits, 2 runs, which were both earned. Rapetti walked 3 and struck out 4. Also a lot of wild pitch, and of course the difference in the game, the home run he allowed to Howell with 2 out in the 5th innings. Ethan Bates, the two-way player from Louisiana Tech, comes on to do the pitching. And the first pitch on the way to the catcher, Freddie Guillermo, taken for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. So Guillermo, and then the top of the Glacier order for the right fielder, McCarthy, and then Howell, 9-1-2, as Bates deals, and a swing and a miss, pitch down to the end, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Glacier, no runs, 5 hits, and no errors for Yolo. Guillermo 0 for 2 tonight. He struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. Third baseman Banks guards the line just back of the bag. 2-0 Range Riders. The pitch, tap foul up along first. No balls and 2 strikes the count from Bates, who wears his gray pants up to his knees, showing the old look to the black socks. Bates 6 feet, 185 pounds. 22 years old. The kick in the 0-2, swing and a miss at a soft curve, strike 3. Pitch in the dirt. Catcher Mendoza up with the ball, and he'll throw to Gonzalez at first. And officially retires Guillermo. Strikeout, put out, goes 2-3. First strikeout for Bates. So 1 out. Teams have combined now to strike out 17 times tonight. Now for the 4th time this evening, Glacier will go to the top of its order for the right fielder. And Ryan McCarthy, who's 1 for 2, a single, a walk, and a run scored. And he takes inside, ball 1 from Bates. 1 ball and no strikes. So Bates appeared once in the series against the Ballers. He worked in game 2. Went 1 inning and had 1 strikeout as Ethan delivers a strike on the outside corner. And the count is at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bates sporting a black beard, out of the windup delivers, and the first-year pro pours in a strike. Actually, the batter and McCarthy ran up to bunted through the pitch for a strike. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Banks, the third baseman, playing in on the turf portion of the diamond, meaning the green portion of the diamond. But now backs up with 2 strikes. The windup and the pitch. And McCarthy takes outside, ball 2. 2-2 the count now to Ryan McCarthy, formerly in the Twins and White Sox chains. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch chopped foul up along first. 2-2 to McCarthy, who I haven't talked about this part yet, but mentioned his time in affiliated ball, but McCarthy played his college baseball at the Citadel. Spent 5 years there because he got the 1 year back because of the pandemic. So, of course, pretty much any varsity athlete got, no matter where they played, what classification, got an extra year. The kick in the 2-2, low ball 3-2. There's the Citadel Military Institution in Charleston, South Carolina. So you got to be pretty disciplined. That's not exactly Party School USA there. The kick of the 3-2. Swung on, hit up the middle and thrown to center, a base hit. Second hit for McCarthy tonight, who takes a big turn at first, and he stops there. And now it's the man of the hour, and Jake Howell, who sent everybody howling with a 2-run homer in the 5th inning. Now, obviously, this game still in doubt. It's only 2-0 in favor of Glacier. So we'll see if McCarthy takes off. 11 steals in the regular season. Was caught 3 times. And Bates from the first base side of the rubber. Conference USA Player of the Year, Louisiana Tech, as both a pitcher and as a, well, I guess combining his work as a pitcher and an infielder. This is outside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. Outfield fairly deep straightaway for Howell. Some run went out toward left center over that 8-foot wall, and Howell takes low inside, and now McCarthy to late steal, throw down to second, and now he's hung up. The second baseman, Leday, chases McCarthy back toward first. Now the first baseman, Gonzalez, throws to Marine, the shortstop, who tags McCarthy out. So they get him. They caught him leaving. I don't want to say too early. They caught him leaving late, which actually turned out to be okay. They eventually did get him. So 2-6. 2-4-3-6. 2-4-3-6 on the caught stealing. The catcher, Mendoza, the second baseman, Leday, the first baseman, Gonzalez, to the shortstop, Marine. 2-4-3-6. So that's 2 out, nobody on. And Howell takes inside. So the count now is at ball 3. 3-0 the count. So I guess that McCarthy was going to be taking off and eventually just thought, well, I'm going to see if I can just get a delay steal right there. And, well, he couldn't. 3-0 the count. The kick and the pitch to Howell. And that's down the middle, strike 1. And the count is now at 3 balls and 1 strike. So 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. 2-0 Glacier in the pitch. McCarthy taps one foul at the plate, or Howell taps one foul at the plate. So 3-2 the count. I'll have to go and introduce myself to McCarthy, who it's always fun to meet guys who went to military institutions, because their regimen is completely different. They have to go to class. But that'd be fun to learn the routine. I've been over to that campus at the Citadel. I've been there a few times. Beautiful, beautiful layout there in Charleston. The kick in the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball down and in, strike 3. And Howell strikes out swinging for the second time tonight. Second strikeout for Bates. How about every relief pitcher tonight has exactly 2 strikeouts? Every relief pitcher, both sides. Come out and see things you've never seen before in this game. No runs. 1 hit, nobody left. We go to the 8th. There'll be another new pitcher for Glacier when we get back with a score. Glacier 2, Yolo nothing. Going to the 8th inning on YouTube Live. Well, on we go to the top of the 8th inning. Well, good, last 3 games that the High Wheelers have played in the postseason, which I guess would make sense since we're in the postseason, have either been games where it's been a 1-run game or a 2-run game. And right now, 2-0 Glacier. Top of the Yolo order for the 4th time with the center fielder Braylon Skinner, and he faces new range rider pitcher Noah Owen, And the first pitch is taken for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. So, again, top of the Yola order for the fourth time. It's Skinner, Marine, and Leday, and obviously the time ticking for the High Wheelers, who have stranded 6 tonight and have 5 hits, but nothing to show for it. Skinner is 0 for 2 with a walk, and the pitch from Owen outside for a ball, 1-1. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live on this very nice, weather-wise evening. Second part of September now here in northwest Montana as the pitch fouled off in my direction. I haven't even talked about where my booth is yet. We are pretty high here, and we are just a pinch to the, just a smidge to the third base side of home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Skinner, and Braylon takes outside ball 2, 2-2. So we pretty much have a spot-on view of the right-handed batter's box. So we're just a little bit at an angle, but really good place to call a game. We are up, as I said, up here on the top level, 2-2 pitch, and that's fouled toward the top of the screen. I've had to duck now twice because Skinner's hit it in my direction. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Final line on Nick Zegna, 1 perfect inning with 2 strikeouts. That's the way it has been for all 3 relievers tonight prior to Owen. For Glacier, the 2-2, swing and a miss. But Skinner chased that one well out of the zone, and he is out. First time he has struck out. 13th High Wheeler to fan tonight. Only High Wheeler who is not, well, there's 2 High Wheelers who have not struck out tonight, Clancy and Banks. So now it's Marine, who is 1 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, and Owen delivers. And Marine a foul to the backstop, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. You know what? I don't even know. I don't have written down the most times High Wheeler batters have struck out, at least in 1 game this year. I did not keep note of that. The 0-1, and Marine takes inside from Owen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Owen is 6'4", 200 pounds. 23 years old, from San Diego, and had been in the Angels system. Been as high as Double-A with the Rocket City Trash Pandas, a team that plays in Madison, Alabama, near Huntsville. The 1-1, swing and a miss. High fastball, strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. For Glacier this year, 0-2 in 9 games, 2 starts. The 1-2 to Marine, hit foul right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Left-hander Chris Anglin warming for Yolo down the right field line. Now Owen 5.60 ERA, did have a couple of saves. White pants up to his knees, showing the thick green socks. The 1-2, and Marine slaps this ball to shortstop, charged and gloved by Atwood, and he'll throw on the run to the first baseman Fitzgerald, and Marine is out. So 2 away here in the 8th inning. Top of the 8th inning, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the High Wheelers, who haven't had a hit since the leadoff man in the 4th, Jose Gonzalez. 2-5-0 for Glacier, 0-5-0 for Yolo. Actually, Glacier has 6 hits. 2-6-0 for Glacier, 0-5-0 for Yolo. Now Leday, he's 0 for 3. First pitch on the way to Marine, taken for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. And Marine swings here. Leday swings here at a curve and misses, strike 2. So quickly 0-2 the count from Noah Owen. And Yolo, Glacier up 2-0 top of the 8th, the pitch, and it's high for a ball. 1-2. Owen, if he strikes out Leday here, it would then be all 4 relievers tonight for Glacier with the identical line of 1 perfect inning and 2 strikeouts as Leday foul to the screen, 1-2. Owen mentioned is from San Diego, and mentioned with the Angels. They say got as high as Double-A. Folks, that was one game. Predominantly, his affiliated time, though, has been as a White Sox. The 1-2, and Leday swings, and it's one high and foul left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another connection of Tommy Thompson, who, when he worked in the minor league system of the White Sox, and now is the player procurement man for the Range Riders. Thompson influential in getting Noah Owen over here to Glacier. The 1-2 pitch, and that's up and in ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So this season was Owen's last year, or at least for the moment, last time he'll be with the Angels. And then he had been in the Arizona Complex League and then got to Glacier toward the final part of the season in late July, early August. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2-0 Glacier. The pitch, swing and a miss and a curve. Strike 3. Leday is out. This is incredible. I've called thousands of games. I don't ever recall seeing where 4 relievers, and you know what? I'll even throw in Ethan Bates of YOLO. All 5 relievers tonight have 2 strikeouts. But specifically Glacier, everybody, it's been 1 perfect inning with 2 strikeouts. What are the mathematical chances of that? No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left to go to the bottom of the 8th. Chris Englund will be the new pitcher for the YOLO High Whalers when we get back with the score. 2-0 Glacier leading YOLO on YouTube Live. Game 1 of the 2024 Pioneer League Championship Series. Well, we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. It is 2-0, the Glacier Range Riders. Out in front, Chris Englund comes on to do the pitching. And Chad Castillo leads it off. 2-0 Glacier, bottom 8, and Englund's first pitch to Castillo. And Chad takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Castillo, Kirtley, and Liniak. 3, 4, and 5 here in the 8th inning. The home half of the 8th, Castillo is 0 for 2 with a walk. Englund, gray pants up to his knees, kicks from the set, and Castillo takes up and away. Ball and a strike. Ethan Bates tonight for YOLO, 1 inning, 1 hit, and 2 strikeouts. 2-0 Glacier on the home run by Gabe Howell in the 5th inning. The 2-out homer as Englund pours one in way up over the head of Castillo. Ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike to the former Philly farmhand and Castillo. Castillo was their go-to guy when it came to the knockout round this year. He won 3 knockout rounds for the Range Riders. The kick of the 2-1, and that's outside ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Castillo in the regular season had 11 home runs. That wasn't tops on the team. That was Kirtley with 20, but Castillo would be their usually designated home run guy. 3 balls and a strike to count. And Englund Back to the plate, high leg kick, and Castillo turns on this and a foul to the backstop. And the count now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Castillo, Kirtley, and Liniak, and obviously Anglin has to, got no choice, he has to keep this at a 2-0 deficit. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning, game 1 of the 2024 Pioneer League Championship Series. And the 3-2 is outside, ball 4 to Castillo. So he draws a walk, and he's on for the second time. Second time he's walked literally as the leadoff man. And now it's the third baseman, Christian Kirtley, who digs in to face Anglin, whose regular season numbers 2-0, 31 games out of the bullpen. All his appearances are out of the bullpen with a 3.89 ERA. So Kirtley, he is 0 for 3 tonight. So runner at first base, Castillo, being held on by Gonzalez, and the pitch, and Kirtley swings. Chopper to Gonzalez at first. He goes to the shortstop, Marine at second for 1. Return throw back to Gonzalez. Pulls Jose off the bag. Pulled him toward the home plate side of first. So Castillo is out 3-6 on the force at second base. Kirtley now 0 for 4. And now it's Liniak who comes up to face Anglin, who just turned 23 a little over a week ago, 5'11", 175 pounds. So now Liniak, who's 1 for 2 with a walk. And the pitch, and that is outside, ball 1. And the count is at 1 ball and no strikes. I don't have a crowd count tonight. It looks to be a good one here. Again, first time ever for either of these teams to be in the Pioneer League Championship Series, which, again, makes sense. As the pitch to Kirtley, and he takes a breaking ball for a strike on the inside corner, 1-1. And, you know, YOLO is in its first year of existence. A year ago at this time, this team hadn't even been conceived. And Glacier is only in its 3rd season. But what a beautiful, beautiful stadium this is. No doubt about it. 2-0 though, Glacier. That's not so beautiful. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. President of the league is here, Mike Shapiro. Mike, who we just saw in Oakland over the weekend. And Mike gave me some good notes about this ballpark, which I will try and use tomorrow. It's really the only other time I can use these notes. As this pitch is in the dirt and taken off for second, and out! Out with a slide is Kirtley. The pitch was in the dirt, and Mendoza started to work around the batter, Liniak. Liniak did his job. He didn't interfere with the ball. He kept his feet. In fact, the home plate umpire and crew chief, Tony Prater, signaled safe, meaning no interference on the batter, and Mendoza is still throwing one hop to the second baseman, Leday, and they get Kirtley 2-4 on the putout. That's not a caught stealing. That's a putout. The count's at 2-1, nobody on, 2 out. And the pitch up and in, ball 3, 3-1. Yeah, since Kirtley had no intent to steal the base, it just simply goes as a 2-4 putout at second. Counts at 3 balls and a strike. And the pitch from the set, and that's reached for and flied softly toward left. Marine, the shortstop, backpedaling, and he makes the catch over his black cap. So Liniak pops to short in shallow left. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Last chance for YOLO, Game 1, the 2024 Pioneer League Championship Series. Noah Owen will come back out and try and close this one with the score. The Glacier Range Riders 2 and the YOLO High Wheelers nothing on YouTube Live. Well, we go to the top of the ninth inning. Last chance for the Yolo High Wheelers. Glacier 2 and Yolo nothing. And Jose Gonzalez leads it off. Gonzalez, Blackford, and Glancy to face Noah Owen, who pitched a perfect eighth inning with 2 strikeouts. And the first pitch to Gonzalez, strike one on call on the outside corner out of 1. Yolo, remember, was shut out in game 2 at Oakland, 1-0. Jose is 1 for 3 tonight with an infield hit, and he swings and misses at a fastball 0-2. Yolo was shut out 3 times in the regular season, so 4 overall this year. Outfield around to the left, and the pitch on the way, and Gonzalez swings and misses. High fastball, 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 out. 15th High-Wheeler to strike out tonight, meaning 15 times a High-Wheeler player has struck out tonight. 3rd time Gonzalez has fan. And now Blackford, who has struck out twice, he's 1 for 2. The note I have here is that Glacier did not have a shutout this season. Now Blackford, ground ball toward first, sliding stop to his right, Fitzgerald. Underhand toss to the pitcher in Owen covering. 2 down. 3-1 on the play at first. And now Yolo is down to its last out for the left fielder, David Glancy. Yeah, the note I have here is that the Range Riders did not have a pitch shutout this year. And here they are facing the second best hitting team in the league in Yolo, and are 1 out away from a shutout. Now it's Glancy, and he takes inside ball 1-0 again tomorrow. 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. We'll start the YouTube live feed. Glancy, one of the few who's not struck out tonight, 1 for 3 with a single. And he pops this one up back of the plate and foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, remember, it's a 2-0 game. Easier said than done. Glancy gets up and then gets on. Then you got Tanner Smith who's got some pop. He'd come up as the tying run. Again, don't have a crowd count tonight, but as I said, the folks here on their feet. 1 ball, 1 strike to count with 2 out. And the pitch. And Glancy takes, and that is inside ball 2. So 2-1 the count. Left-hander Brandon Mitchell tomorrow for Yolo. And he will be opposed by Glacier lefty Patrick Wicklander. The pitch on the way. And Glancy takes strike 2 on the inside corner. He'd like that challenge. Might as well challenge. Got a few left. 2-2 the count. And the pitch was confirmed a strike. Now Glacier, good pitching, 5th in the league in ERA at 5.8, 4th in the league in ERA at 5.80. Yolo 2nd in ERA, 5.3, so might as well have a 2-0 game right now in favor of Glacier. Yolo down to its last strike. And the kick of the pitch, and Glancy swings. It's 1 to first, gloved by Castillo. He'll take the ball to the bag himself for the 3 unassisted. The ball game is over, and the Glacier Range Riders come running out of the third base dugout and left field bullpen in celebration as the fireworks go off, and they win this one tonight 2-0. And the Yolo High Wheelers, after Mendoza was hit with a pitch to lead off the 5th, the last 15 High Wheelers were retired in succession. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Final score tonight, it was the Glacier Range Riders 2, the Yolo High Wheelers nothing. I will be back with the final totals in just a moment. Final score here tonight, it was the Glacier Range Riders 2 and the Yolo High Wheelers nothing. Here are the final totals. First for the victorious Glacier Range Riders, who lead this series, best of 5 series, 1 game to none. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and 6 left. For the Yellow High Wheelers, of course, 0-1 in this series. No runs, 5 hits, no errors, and 6 left. The winning pitcher, I believe, will go to Justin Coleman. So now 1-0 in this series. The save to Noah Owen, his first of the series, and the tough luck loss to Yellow's Cameron Rapetti. 0-1 in this championship round. 2 hours and 23 minutes this game took in front of a paid crowd really into it tonight, 2,373. So 2 teams who really knew nothing about one another. They didn't play each other at all during the regular season. Yolo had no games against any of the Montana teams this year, and, well, guess what happens? Championship series, there's only 2 left, heading, the back end now of September, and, just kind of seeing what's left of these clubs. And obviously tonight, these 2 teams, well, pitching was the story, and I think coming into the series, we were talking about 2 good pitching ball clubs. Tonight, Cameron Rapetti for Yolo, and for Glacier, left-hander Caleb Sophie. And Sophie hadn't pitched since September 6th, but tonight, Yolo had a chance in the second inning with 1 out and nobody on. Designated hitter Braden Blackford singled to left. David Glancy then had an infield single. And the 2 batters after that, third baseman Kirkland Banks singled to left. And Braden Blackford, who was running on contact, he was being sent to the plate, but was thrown out, just trying to slide in by the slide past the catcher and Freddie Giuliano. The left fielder Chad Castillo with the big throw early, and that kept it 0-0. Well, Glacier had a chance in the 4th inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. And Cameron Rapetti, who had walked 2, had hit a batter. There had been a pass ball on catcher Angel Mendoza. And next thing you know, Glacier had a chance to get on the board. And the shortstop, Anthony Atwood, came up and lined a ball. It looked like it was going to be a base hit into center field. But Andy Atwood, and instead, Yolo second baseman Bobby Leday, a diving catch to his right, and started a double play. The center fielder for the Range Riders in Kingston Liniak was doubled off. Double play went 4-6, and Rapetti was out of trouble. Then in the 5th inning, it was the opposite. Rapetti got the first 2 outs, nobody on. And then the top of the Glacier order was up for the 3rd time. Right fielder in Ryan McCarthy, he singled to right. And then the second baseman came up in Howell, and Gabe Howell, and he hit one into the over the wall out in left center for a 2-run homer, and that made it 2-0 Glacier. And the High Wheelers did not have any base runners. After catcher Angel Mendoza was hit with a pitch in the 5th, Yolo had nobody reach base after that. 15 straight were retired. A combination of that was the last batter Sophie faced, and he got hurt. Caleb Sophie, the starting Glacier pitcher, came out. Then Braylon Skinner was up top of the order for the Yellow center fielder for the 3rd time, and he bunted foul to the 3rd baseman in Christian Kirtley for the first out, and that was it. Yolo never recovered from there, and the bullpen tonight, both bullpens outstanding. But after Sophie's 4 shutout innings with 6 strikeouts, Justin Coleman, along with Aiden McAvoy, Nick Zegna, and Noah Owen, the bullpen for Glacier combined to go 5 perfect innings with 9 strikeouts. And the Yolo bullpen, pretty good too. After Rapetti, Ethan Bates, 1 inning of a 2 strikeout scoreless relief, and Chris Englund, 1 shutout inning with a walk. I mean, the bullpens were really good tonight. The pitching overall was good. But in the end, Glacier enough to win 2-0. First shutout of the year for the Glacier Range Riders. That is crazy, and it comes here tonight. Caleb Sophie, 4+ innings, 5 hits. And everybody, of course, no runs allowed for Glacier. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, a wild pitch, and a hit batter. Justin Coleman, 1 perfect inning, 2 strikeouts. Aiden McAvoy, 1 perfect inning, 2 strikeouts. Nick Zagno, 1 perfect inning, 2 strikeouts. And Noah Owen en route to the save, 2 perfect innings and 3 strikeouts. For Yolo, Cameron Rapetti pitched well, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, a wild pitch, and a home run. Ethan Bates, 1 inning, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, and Chris Englund, 1 inning, no hits, no runs, a walk, and no strikeouts. Coleman, the winner, 1-0 in this series. Owen, his first save of the championship series for the Glacier Range Riders, and Cameron Rapetti, the Yolo High Wheeler, loss. Now 0-1 in this series. And that is how this one went here this evening. So Rapetti, by the way, that's his first loss since August 16th at Grand Junction, when he also lost 2-0. So how about that? The last 2 games Rapetti has lost have both been 2-0. That's how good he's been of late. So Glacier 2, Yolo nothing. 2 hours, 23 minutes this one took in front of a paid crowd of 2,373. And Glacier wins at 2-0. Our next YouTube Live audio cast will be tomorrow night. We're right back here. Game 2 of this series. Be the final home game of the year, no matter what, for Glacier. We'll have it for you at 6 o'clock Pacific time. 6 o'clock Pacific, 6:05 p.m. Pacific time, first pitch, and the High Wheelers will try and even this series. It'll be for Yolo left-hander Brandon Mitchell, 5-2 in the regular season with a 7.28 ERA. And Glacier will counter with left-hander Patrick Wicklander, 3-0 with a 3.34 ERA in the regular season. Mitchell coming off that very tough 1-0 loss at Oakland last Thursday. Wicklander a win in the series against Missoula. So that'll be it tomorrow. The lefty Mitchell for Yolo and the lefty Wicklander for Glacier. And we'll start the YouTube live feed at 6 o'clock Pacific time, and we look forward to having you join us. Great job by Michael Sapel, and big thank you to our producer and director, Michael Sapel, back in the Davis area. And, of course, all of you great listeners and fans for your support and listenership. Final score again tonight, Glacier 2, Yolo nothing. Glacier leads this best-of-5 Pioneer League Championship Series 1-0. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 6 o'clock Pacific. Till then, Doug Greenwald saying good evening from Glacier Bank Park.